Hi everyone, it's Danny. Welcome back to another Cocoa Vanilla Studio layout. Today I'm going to be making a layout based on the mood board that is currently in the Cocoa Vanilla Studio community Facebook group for the September monthly challenge. It's also up on the blog as well. It was my turn to set the challenge for the month, so I designed this mood board and I have made this layout to go along with it as well. You do still have some time to get your entry in for this challenge. The challenge closes at midnight on the 30th of September, Australian Eastern Standard Time. The winner of the challenge will receive a $25 gift voucher to the Cocoa Vanilla Studio online store, which is pretty amazing. I will leave the link to the blog post outlining all the requirements for entering the challenge in the description box below. And now onto the layout. So I am backing this sweet little cut file that I got from Confessions of a Paper Addict cut files, and it is called Cafe. So it's a sweet little cafe table with the umbrella and the little chairs, and I am going to go ahead and back most of the pieces of this layout with the 6x8 paper pads. So I think I just backed the umbrella and then the tablecloth, the little base of the umbrella stand, and then the seats on the chairs, and everything else can be left blank because it's kind of designed that way to have empty space. So I'm just going through, turning my cut file and my pattern paper over, tracing the outline of the cut file on the paper, and then fussy cutting out the piece of paper just slightly larger than the pencil line. Using my fussy cutting scissors, I'm going to back the top of the umbrella with the sweet blue and white polka dot. The tablecloth I'm going to back with the heart, the pink heart print. And then the base of the umbrella stand and the chair seats, I'm going to use the wood grain. So I love how this looks in the end. Turned out really sweet. So I've just sped this part up super fast so it's not too boring to watch. There we go. Love that. And my background paper is going to be this gorgeous mixed media pattern, which is called Sweet Serenity. So I am going to be scrapping a photo of me and my husband at my son's baby shower. So this is going in the baby album. I thought this was a really sweet collection to use for baby layouts. It's very, very soft and pretty colors and rainbows and florals, and yeah, just really, really sweet for baby pages. So even though this isn't a baby page, we are adults, it's going in the baby album, and it is certainly baby related. I am right around 35 or 36 weeks pregnant there with my son. I was, yeah, pretty far along. I had him not long after this actually. So yeah, I love this layout. It turned out really sweet. I'm just backing my photo with just some plain white first, and then the sweet soft pink blush scallop pattern. And these are all from the 6x8 paper stack, by the way. And then some of that sweet little daisy print. Just trimming that down. And now I'm going to add a little more mixed media to the background. Not too much because it already has that effect, but I just wanted to bring in some more of those. You can see those kind of white paint strokes. I wanted to add some white splatters just to continue that pattern. It's really, really sweet. So I've done some larger drops there and some sprinkly, more fine pieces. And I'm using my Liquitex acrylic ink in titanium white to do this. It's my favorite for white splatters. It's nice and opaque, and it splatters really nicely. A lot less effort than getting out the white acrylic paint and watering that down, that's for sure. I'm also going to add some gold splatters there. I'm just sprinkling those on. It's just a gold mist. And that has gone ahead and dried. So we've skipped ahead, and I'm just going to start putting everything together now. So with the cut file on the background, and you know, I'm using a pattern paper background, there's a lot going on already, so I really don't need to do too much now. I'm just going to glue my cut file down so that it doesn't move around too much while I embellish. I will add a title and some florals, of course. These are all ones I have fussy cut from the Garden Variety pattern paper. I've just gone ahead and fussy cut these off camera. You can see I have a whole dish there of fussy cut elements that I just sit down in front of the TV and go to town. as soon as I get a new collection, I pull out all the bits I want to fussy cut, and yeah, that's my kind of de-stress time in front of the TV. So I like to keep my hands busy. So I'm just going to add a kind of a little garden bed down the bottom here. I had kind of just an empty space, and it felt to me a bit like the cut file was floating in midair. So this just helps to bring some weight to the bottom of that page and add a bit more context, I suppose, for the chairs and tables. So our baby shower was in the garden. You can see there it was at one of my friends' houses in their beautiful backyard, and it was a nice sunny day. And yeah, so this cut file and this collection were perfect for this layout. I'm just tucking all these tiny little bits and pieces in now, just trying to make my little garden look nice and full. I do just want to add a couple of little places where I will tear the edge of the paper away. I love paper tearing. It's one of my favorite techniques to do. So just at the side and the top here, I'm just going to tear away a small section of paper. And I just want to add some more florals, but I want to add them coming from behind the paper. So I'm going to use this piece of the Garden Variety pattern, but it's on the 6x8 paper stack. I love this paper stack so much. It's so useful for things like this and for matting photos and backing cut files. It is just perfect. So I've torn those pieces away. I've cut out some sections of the floral, and then I am just going to glue them straight onto the back of the paper here, making sure to line up those edges just carefully so they're nice and flush. And I'm using a wet glue so that if I don't get it lined up exactly right at the first try, I can, I've got a few seconds to move it and get it lined up just right. I'm also going to just go through with my fingers here and fluff up those edges a little more, trimming off those extra overhanging bits of floral. Next, I'm going to build up my title. I did fuss around with this quite a lot off camera because I just couldn't find a place for it to sit where it felt right, but I eventually land on putting it here. So I didn't want to cover up too much of the cut file or too much of the photo, and there's not a lot of space left because I filled that page up really well. So I've gone top and bottom of my photo here, which is really nice. It just hugs my photo and layers around the cut file really nicely. One last little fussy cut floral cluster just at the top here. And I did add one of these. I finally got one of these little hearts in. I've really been desperate to use one of these, but I keep designing myself out of a spot for one. But this little spot was perfect, and I just used a bit of wet glue and popped it right in that spot, and I just love how it hugs the bottom of my title there. I'm going to add in these 3 teeny tiny moth butterfly pieces that I have fussy cut from the 6x8 paper stack. They're so tiny and sweet. I just love them. So I'm just folding them in half so their wings pop up nicely. And that's the layout finished. Close-ups are coming up. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.